Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we will look into Vietnam moving its dead, meaning dead people, for Trump's golf course. That's right. Very interesting story. We will actually also look into Philippines, what's going on in Philippines, because very much likely, looks like allegedly, Israel is focusing on Philippines right now. So what kind of natural disasters are taking place in Philippines, and what is the vision for Israel involving Philippines? But we're gonna start with continuation of the situation in Albania, because this is very, very interesting, guys. I hope you stay with me throughout this entire video, because there are a few points I want to bring as far as what is really the goal of that so-called investment that Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner are trying to execute in the country of Albania. Before we start, I want to express my gratitude to Martin and Ray for your donations on PayPal. Each time you support me, guys, it means a lot to me, and I am very, very grateful. So let's start with Albania first. First, I want to show you, this is from a day ago, the protests as they are going on, even though the Prime Minister of Albania, Edi Rama, the BFF of Netanyahu, says that there are only like few people, this is fake news. And then later he said it doesn't matter how many people protest, he's still gonna sell this Sazan Island to Ivanka and Jared. So here the post says Israeli settlers must leave Albania. Here is another picture. Doesn't look like it's AI. It looks like this is actually the crowd. And those protests are going on. Flamingo, why Flamingo? Because many of you know that that place, that island, is known for wildlife, and flamingos, beautiful pink flamingos, are part of that wildlife that resides in that beautiful natural habitat. So what is the vision with this? Let me break this down, guys, because first and foremost, we were thinking, all right, this is the business venture, $1.4 billion. Then another thought is this is another Epstein Island that they want to create. Valid point. The third one is that there will be military bases and already bunkers that are underground, the tunnels that are underground, also very much likely, very possible, or maybe already existing. But there is the fourth point I really want to bring here, and this is because of the post I came across from someone. I'm going to play this, but first let me read this. So when you look at the map, that area between Albania and Italy is very important. Why? Because this is called the Strait of Otranto. You're going to see it in the video in a moment. So the fourth point is, besides all the other aspects that could be true as well, this is really about control of Strait of Otranto, which is the narrow checkpoint between Albania and Italy. The only maritime getaway, that part between Adriatic and Mediterranean, that very small, narrow Strait of Otranto. Every navy that has ever wanted to dominate that passage has occupied or fortified Sazan, so that island that Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner want to buy. A coastal artillery battery on Sazan ranges across the entire strait. A submarine fleet based in the bay behind it can sortie into the Mediterranean undetected. So if you have any submarine that wants to go into the Mediterranean through that Strait of Otranto, will not be detected. So let's play this video. This lady is explaining this to us because there is another aspect of that so-called deal. And I am just wondering if all of those points that I mentioned, 4 of those points, are equally valid, or there is one that is actually true. Let's take a listen.
Kushner is not buying that island in Albania to turn it into a luxury resort. The story that they've put out is that this is a luxury resort project backed by the Saudis and facilitated by the Albanian government. So this is the island here. Look what even Google Maps has labeled this as, firstly. But let's zoom out a bit. That island is here, right there. It is at the exact point where the Adriatic Sea becomes the Ionian Sea, approximately 56 miles from Italy. The single most important geographic fact to understand is that whoever controls this island, Strazan, controls the Strait of Otranado. This narrow choke point between Albania and Italy is the only maritime gateway between the Adriatic and the Mediterranean. Historically, every single navy that has ever wanted to dominate this area or control trade through it has had to occupy and fortify Sazan. This means a lot of the work is already done for them. There are 3,600 nuclear survivable bunkers on this island. There's also 10 miles of underground tunnels connecting command posts, ammunition stores, submarine pens, and hideouts. There are Soviet submarine pens and deep water anchorages already there, ready for use. All of this militarizing of the island, preparation for nuclear war, was done during the Hoxha regime. I will do a separate video about the Hoxha regime in Albania. But here's the full chain of control. It passed from the Ottomans to the Italians to the Albanians to the Soviet Navy, back to the Albanians, and now suddenly it's going to a private American cartel. The through line here is that it has been a military garrison for the local Navy. The exception at the end is that it's now being sold to Jared Kushner. Why is Europe allowing the Project 2025 guys to buy their own nuclear garrison in the middle of the Adriatic Sea? Well, we're not, because this was Albania yesterday. Shout out to anybody that was there, you absolute legends. It's not technically correct to say that it's...
So very good points. I'm not sure if you heard that aspect of it, but this is very informative and it all starts to make sense, doesn't it? So what other islands Israel is targeting? Let's go to Philippines. Before we go to Vietnam moves its debt for Trump's golf course. So in Philippines, everyone, I'm gonna show you the videos. There are 2 things happening. Well, let's start with April this year first, before we go to what's going on at this very moment.
And advance.
So Israelis are colonizing the Philippines right now. They're currently taking over the island of Siargao, which is kind of ironically located in the middle east side of the Philippines. It's known for surfing. It's known for the palm tree forests. It's known for crystal clear blue waters. But these Israelis, some are identifying as Zionists, are attacking local LGBTQ people, disrupting and destroying local communities. They're building an Israeli heritage center, which nobody asked for. So when we say liberation for all, this is exactly what we're talking about. It doesn't stop with Palestine. It doesn't stop with Lebanon. It doesn't stop with Thailand. If you don't know, Israelis are also trying to colonize Thailand right now, and it won't stop with the Philippines. And Israel's abuse of the Philippines is well documented. There's many instances of Filipinos going to Israel to work as OFWs, which is overseas Filipino workers, to work as nurses or to work in childcare. and Israelis will steal the passports of these Filipinos so that they can't leave. It's this forced indentured servitude. I'm half Korean, half Filipino American, and we're already seeing how much influence Israel has over Korea as well. So much of K-beauty is a byproduct of Israeli research. So if you're Filipino or Korean, Thai, or just Asian in general, or if you live in America and you think that what is going on in the Middle East does not affect us, you're just so wrong. And it's just so upsetting because Filipinos are like the most hospitable people. Like, we are so community-based, always want to help other people. And to see that, like, not only get taken advantage of, but for Filipinos to now have their land being stolen from them, like, we need to go back to our ancestors. We need to remember what we did to Magellan, which, if you don't know, look at the history. To put it lightly, we sent him packing. So Israelis are colonized.
So guys, this was recorded in April, right? Which means it's already going on much longer than that. But what's going on now today? Let me show you two videos. I will turn off my sound. You're gonna see two natural disasters. The first one is the earthquake in Philippines, and the second one is a flood. And then after that, I'm gonna read you what is the vision that Israel actually has that will involve Philippines. Let's take a listen. So I'm sure it's just a coincidence because, nature has her laws, its laws. I don't believe in coincidences anymore at all. I do believe that nature ultimately wants to remove the parasites. But this is an interesting story. What is the focus and why there? Let me show you this post, and I literally just came across this and I didn't know about it. Israel eyes Philippines as key minerals partner in PAC's Silica initiative. Let's read this. Israel is eyeing the Philippines as a key partner in the PAC's Silica initiative, with Manila expected to supply critical minerals while Israel provides expertise in artificial intelligence, AI, chip design, and cybersecurity. Israeli ambassador to Philippines Dana Kursh said, this is her, look like a man, speaking on PTV's Bangkok, Filipinas on Wednesday. Kursh said the Philippines' nickel and other mineral resources complement Israel's technological strengths. Quoting her, "You have plenty of nickel and other different important minerals. What Israel has to offer is the tech side," she said. Kursh said the two countries are drafting a memorandum of understanding on critical minerals cooperation following the visit of Trade Secretary Cristina Rook and Trade Undersecretary Seferino Rodolfo to Israel earlier this month. She added that Israel is also finalizing a separate cybersecurity agreement with the Department of Information and Communications Technology. Last week, the Philippines joined the US-led Pax Silica initiative, which aims to secure semiconductor and AI supply chains. The country is also preparing a 4,000-acre industrial hub in the Luzon Economic Corridor to support manufacturing for member economies. So there you have it, everyone. One side of it. Now we're gonna stay here, and you know why? You know why? Because Trump moves its debt for Trump golf course. You see the cemetery in Vietnam, but this article here is pretty informative. So let's read this. Vietnam farmers forced to dismantle cemetery to make way for a Trump golf course. Imagine you're playing golf on that. Vietnamese farmers are being forced to exhume loved ones, sorry if I mispronounce, and dismantle family graves to make way for a 1.5 billion Trump organization golf resort. They like this 1.4, 1.5, right? It's psychological because it's like below 2 billion, but more than 1 billion. So, you know. In the north of the country, according to a report from the Financial Times, residents of the commune have begun marking graves with large painted X symbols to confirm they have moved their loved ones' remains. X. Like persona non grata, huh? Eric Trump has described the planned resort as the envy, my goodness, of all of Asia and of the entire world. Yeah, everyone envies that. As the project destroys both ancestral burial sites and farmland that families have depended on for generations. Several residents told reporters that compensation offered is far too low. Based on a Reuters report, farmers were offered as little as $12 for 10 square feet of land. Many farmers said they would have no alternative work once the fertile farmland is gone, because this is how they make their living, this is how they survive. The project comes as Vietnam seeks to maintain strong economic ties with the US. Vietnamese exports are subject to a 20% tariff, significantly lower than the initially threatened 46%, but higher than the 10% universal baseline rate. The grave of my great-grandparents has been there since 1967, before the establishment of this country, after the Vietnam War, so why would I move them? Said Vietnamese farmer Hoang Anh Sa. Sorry, I don't know how to say their names. So there you have it, everyone. Another project. This one is in Vietnam. And I just want to say a few things here, personal things. First, as far as Filipinos go. For many years, I used to work on the cruise ships long time ago when I was much, much younger. And on those contracts that were about 6-7 months, you know, you work on the ship, you sleep there in the cabin, etc., etc. I have to tell you guys, the number of Filipinos that I was working with was very high. They were one of the hardest working people. Some of them, they were extending their contracts because they were supporting entire families. And that was the time before the cell phones, when we were ashore, when we were at the port, everyone was running to the calling station. And I never forget, you know, you have to really go fast, because if you were behind Filipinos in the line trying to call your parents that you are okay, they were taking forever because they had so many family members to call and probably asking, did you get the monies, and you know, sent by money orders and things like that. So I am saying all of this because I personally experienced the people, okay, working people and their ethics and dedication to work. Incredible, hardworking nation. I have not been to Philippines, but whatever this guy was saying, I agree with, because, and they were very, very, very focused on hospitality as well. So it's like in their culture and their blood. Now going to Vietnam, which I had the pleasure to visit last year. And all I can say, I was really taken by how gracious and kind and authentic and genuine and hardworking they were there as well. And it's a beautiful country. And the prices are still very reasonable. And the food is great and the nature is beautiful. And now there will be another Trump golf course over there. So that's all I have for you today, everyone. Let me know what you think about all of this. It's all connected, isn't it? It's the same blue-white thread that connects it all. If you appreciate the video, please make sure to hit the thumbs up, check your subscription and your notification, because many of you are not being notified. I'm aware of it. And if you choose to support my work, which really helps me a lot and means a lot to me, you can become my Patreon member, local supporter, donate on PayPal, or purchase one of my 2 books. The third one will be coming soon for children. They are beautifully illustrated. I have written them. And how to order it, you can also find the link down below. And with this being said, guys, lots of love. And remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. And I see you in another video. Bye, guys.